What's up, guys? It's your boy Rand here with East Coast Athletics with another live stream. I'm a little late. Well, not a little late, but a lot late. But I have a lot to talk about this morning. And they've ran quite a few races so far. Presently, they have the final heat of the 400-meter hurdle female on the track. We're about to watch Sydney McLaughlin run. So let's see what she does. Not really expecting any world record in this first run from her, but still expect a solid performance. Still expect a solid performance. Okay. She's doing something that I don't normally see her doing. She shuffled somewhere in the middle, which is not typical of her. I think that's all due to the fact that she's not running all out. So that's a part of the reason why she she's shuffling. But I mean, she looked really comfortable. Um, she looks really comfortable in that round. I don't think that anybody should be worried about that little shuffle because when she's running at full pace, that won't be an issue because her pattern will be perfect. So that's not something that I think we really need to worry about at this point in time. I think she's fine. And as you guys could see, if for those who are watching it, by the way, she's way ahead of the field, and she ran a pretty decent time, 53. So uh, it is what it is. But I do have quite a few things that I want to talk about and touch on this morning, based on yesterday's chain of events. And before I even get into all that, you know, I want to say congrats to Alfred and Tia Clayton in the women 100-meter finals. I think that they did a great job. Um, Tia, it's her first Olympics. She made it to the final. She was the one who pretty much was bringing the torch for Jamaica. Unfortunately, she did not make the podium. I wanted her to make the podium, but I really had Shelly Ann winning the 100-meter. Unfortunately, Shelly Ann didn't get to run due to some mishaps, I would say, that took place before the semifinal. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with um, Twitter and Instagram, so that video is circulating um, a lot where she was she was locked out of the or not let in to the warm up track, and had to walk all the way around, and as a result, she didn't get to warm up the way she was supposed to. And from my understanding, it's not just the fact that she didn't warm up properly. I think she suffered a hamstring injury as a result of not being able to warm up properly as well. So she did not compete in the semifinal, hence, she was not in the final. So everything was left on Tia Clayton, which, as I said, she's young. She represented to the best of her ability, and I'm happy for her. I wanted her to be on the podium, not just from a you know a fan's standpoint, but for her. I think that would have set her up um, for future championships, boosting her confidence a whole lot. That will definitely set her up. So I definitely wanted her to be on the podium, so I mean, but things happen, and I think there's a big factor when it comes to why that happened the way it did. So I'm gonna talk about my reasons why I think she didn't perform the way she was supposed to perform. But you know, it is what it is at this point. It already happened. You can't change it. But there's there's a lot to unpack from yesterday chain of events, and I'm gonna try my best to do that. Um, but a few of the comments that I heard, and I heard them in the finals pretty much, or when they were about to start. The commentators stated that Sha'carri was the world's favorite, and I'm gonna I'm gonna address that. They say Sha'carri was the world favorite. She was not the world's favorite in the 100. I think she was the American favorite, and I don't think America represents the entire track and field world. I think they represent, maybe a vast, portion of it, but not the entire world. And it just seems as if everything is staged, because the reason why I say I think everything it makes it look as if everything is staged is because, for starters, whenever they're announcing whenever they're announcing the athletes, or they're going from lane to lane announcing them, it's always in a specific order, right? So it's either from right to left or left to right. So if they if they're going from lane 1 to lane 9, right? They would they would start there. She's in lane, I think she was in lane 7, right? They would start there, start in lane 1, and she would be the third to last person that they introduce. She wouldn't be the last person that they introduce, right? And if they're going the opposite way from right to left, facing the athletes, she would be the third person that they introduce. So why is it that she was introduced last? But that's wrong. You're saying lots of money behind Sha'carri. Who cares about what money is behind her. She is not the favorite. She's not the world's favorite. They could pump all the money into her as they want to. They're trying to make her queen, are trying to make her the best, but it did not work because all that time and energy spent, on boosting her up, making her feel like she's the best, and then she got her ass beat. Like she got beat. So how does that look? Clearly it's gonna look biased because they call her the sprint queen. How can you be sprint queen? When did that happen? That's what I would want to know. When did she become sprint queen? When did she become sprint queen? She is no sprint queen. So that in itself, you know, didn't didn't sit right. Like it didn't sit right with me. Like it didn't make sense. Like you brought her out last as the world's favorite, right? And as the sprint queen. So if she's the sprint queen, how did she lose? How did she lose? Queen meaning you're the best, right? I mean, favorite don't mean you're the best. That means you're the one that everybody likes. But at the end of the day, as I said, she's not the world's favorite. She's the American favorite, and nothing is wrong with that because every country, I'm gonna say, have a favorite. And within those countries, you still have people who have a favorite that's not from their country, or have somebody that they support that's not from their country. So to say that she's the world's favorite and she's a spring queen is just it's just too much. Right? And with that being said, I'm gonna move to the next topic, which is they're focusing too much. The American team to me seem to, even though they are great athletes, because I'm not saying sha'carri is not a great athlete, because she is. They're focusing too much on attention compared to performance. So all this money, you know, that you say they put behind sha'carri, but she still lost. So all this publicity and all, this effort without any result. I know she feel bad because most of the time when you're the favorite and you lose, you're yeah, you got a medal, you're on the podium, but you're not happy. And studies have shown that the silver medalist in almost every event is never happy because their goal was to win. Their goal wasn't to be second. Their goal was never to be second. Their goal is to win. And when they don't win, that is disappointing for them. So they don't take it well. The happiest person in the field in most cases when they were never a part of the medal tally, like nobody saw them medaling, is the bronze medalist. Bronze medalist is always the happiest person because they're so happy that they're on the podium because they were never in the cards at all. That's always the happiest person. I mean, you could contest that to say the winner is happy, but a lot of times, unless it's an upset, the winner is always, you know, the winner is always expected to win. Like you have an idea who's gonna win. That person in their, in the back of their head, like I'm gonna win, which all the athletes think that. So it's kind of like, okay, I won, I'm happy. But third place, I think they're always the happiest. But second place is never happy. They're never happy with the fact that they're the runner up. They're second, the second best. No, they want to be the best. Oh, wow. So you say the two Americans, based on that's what you're saying. The two Americans did not show up at the conference. Only Alfred did because they're I think they're embarrassed. They wanted to win so bad, but they got their butt whipped. They lost. All that hype and everything that they had behind them, everything that was pushing them, it just got pushed to the side because it didn't go exactly how they wanted it to go. It didn't. All that planning all year, boosting them up. Oh, she's going to take gold at the Olympics. And everybody kept saying that on here. Everybody, oh, sha'carri this, sha'carri that, sha'carri, sha'carri, sha'carri. Did sha'carri win? I told y'all she wasn't going to win from the jump. I said she's not going to win. And I still think if Shelly-Ann Fraser was in that race, she would have won. I had sha'carri getting third. Shelly-Ann was going to win. Alfred was going to be second. And sha'carri was going to be third. That was my prediction yesterday before I got off the live stream. That was my prediction. Shelly-Ann did not run in the semifinal due to, I'm going to say, injuries. Right? Alfred stepped up and took the goal. sha'carri did not win. So, what was all the hype about? Why not put the attention on somebody that is running great times? Oh, I know. I know why. But I'm just going to leave it alone. Hey, you say she had a Nike event. I mean, as you said, they're putting everybody say that they're putting a lot of money and attention into her, but attention attention don't make people win, right? It don't make people win. It bring the attention that they're putting on her brings more attention to the sport, hence more money to the companies that are endorsing her. That's what it does. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Let me post it. That's exactly how it is. Not and to some extent, third place is so happy that they're on the podium. Yeah, they're not gonna show up at the conference because they're embarrassed. They're embarrassed because of all this talk that they're gonna dominate, they're gonna win, but they didn't. They got beat by someone who can also be classified as a Jamaican. And I'm not trying to, you know, take anything away from St. Lucia, but if you guys really know about track and field, you would know that Alfred went to school in Jamaica as well, right? She went to St. Catherine High, so I mean, she may not be a born Jamaican, but she trained there. she ran there for for a year. So technically, I'm not saying that Jamaicans are trying to show ownership or claim her, in any way. But I'm just saying, like, she trained there, she ran there. So, you know, I think the Jamaican public accept her as family, even though she was born in another country. Just the same way, I think they accept Zan El Hughes and a couple other athletes that were born in other countries and they come you know, to Jamaica and train, or they went to school in Jamaica. It's one and the same. So yeah, she she got beat by somebody who is who is 30% Jamaican. So it's one and the same. All that hype, he still lost. And where's that guy that was talking all that smack in the comments the other day? Oh, sha'carri's gonna win, and this, that, and the third. Where is he now? He's not here saying anything, is he? These people just talk a lot and they know nothing about track and field. You say, Andre, you say if sha'carri won, the Nike event would have been postponed. Hmm. I wonder how they would react to her going back to the U.S. Um, with silver and bronze and not gold. I mean, hey, I do not know. I don't know. I really don't know. But I just think it's ludicrous how everything played out with her coming out last, you know, the so-called favorite, and she's the sprint queen. I've never even heard them call Shelly Ann the sprint queen, and Shelly Ann is the sprint queen. Like, there's so many other athletes that you could crown sprint queen, but you crown her. And with that being said, with that being said, let me go to my next banner. Right? This is really what I think. Most of these athletes are self-proclaimed crowned athletes. They haven't proven any form of consistency or longevity in the sport. Like, it's just, oh, I ran one race, and it was a fast race, so now I'm queen or now I'm king. They haven't won a double Olympic gold. They haven't won a double world championship gold. It's just a one-off race, and now they're the greatest or the fastest person on the planet, the fastest person alive. That's how it is these days. You don't have to. Well, I guess depending on where you're from, you don't have to prove yourself time and time again to be considered the best. Once you do it one time, then you're the best, which is crazy to me. You have somebody that has been super consistent over the years. In pretty Once she's healthy, she's in every single final, and she's in the top 3 once she's healthy every time. But she don't get the recognition that she deserves. She's not crowned as the sprint queen, but somebody else that won one championship, one, is sprint queen. How does that even make sense? How does that make sense? Just one championship and you're sprint queen. Like, make it make sense. You didn't even double. You didn't even run the 1 and the 2. You couldn't make the 200-meter team for your country, but you're a sprint queen. I would like to know, the reasoning behind why she's being called the Spring Queen. All right, let me post this comment. Like just hearing them call her Spring Queen, I'll be lying to you if I say it didn't irritate it. It didn't irritate me. Cause I was like, what? Sprint what? At that point I was like, okay, she definitely not gonna win. But they can't they're not gonna do that. Cause if Sprint Queen should be a title given by the people, right? That title is clearly gonna go one place, and we know that it's gonna go to Jamaica. It's gonna go to. It's gonna go. It's and if you're going based off of stats, it's gonna go to Shelly Ann. If you're just looking at the fastest time right now, it's gonna go to Elaine, like the fastest time that ever ran since the record. It's gonna go to Elaine. But if we go in just based on stats, it's gonna go to Shelly Ann. The world knows it, and when I say the world knows it, I think all the other countries know it. They don't have a hard time accepting it. Hold up. American Crown athletes, whether they win or lose. I'm gonna put this comment up, and I would like for you to elaborate a little bit more on that. Because I don't want to draw the wrong conclusion from this comment that I just read. So I put it on the screen. Just, elaborate a little bit more on it, so I can have a better understanding. Because what I'm getting from it is I think you have it wrong. You have it completely twisted when you're saying that we should stop complaining when other countries crown their athletes. You cannot crown somebody king or queen when they have not displayed the qualities that you're looking for from somebody that's king or queen. That does not make sense. That is crazy. I hear people out here calling Noah Lyles the fastest man alive. How is he the fastest man alive? What record did he set? He's not even the fastest person right now. Like he doesn't have the fastest time right now. So how is he in that category? How is Sha'carri the Spring Queen? You guys are delusional. Like, thank you. Super delusional. Y'all just want to put titles on people that don't deserve to have those titles. You want them to have the title. In your eyes, they should have the title, but they haven't done the work to claim that title. So why should they get it? So you want them to have titles that they haven't worked for. It's like you saying, I want to get paid this amount of money, but I have not done the work to get that amount of money. Like that does not make sense. So you want to just give out freebies. That's what it is. That's clearly what it is. Freebies. People who have done the work, you want to deprive them of that title, and you want to give that title to somebody else who have not done any work to compare to the individual that has done the work. That is ludicrous to me. And then a lot of you guys come on here and say I'm biased. How am I biased when the statistics shows for the past 10 plus years that Jamaica has dominated. And I'm not talking about just Jamaica as a country. I'm talking about the female sprinters. And you guys are gonna see that I'm not biased in a few minutes, because I'm not just roasting the American athletes, or I'm not just roasting Sha'carri. See, your misinterpretation of what is meant by the word queen, and you're confusing it with sprint queen. If you want to use the word queen to represent the female athletes, okay, but saying sprint queen is a different thing. That's completely different. If you say one of the athletes is a sprint queen or the sprint queen, and then you back that up by saying she is the world's favorite, you're trying to say that individual is number one. That's what you're trying to say. And Sha'carri is not number one. And it was proven yesterday when she lost. So all that talk of her being number one, clearly she's not number one. And that was shown yesterday. And what I'm saying is that she should not be crowned before an event, before she has proven that she is the best. And as we speak, she is not the best. She's the runner-up to the best. So we should be talking about Julian Alfred as the best right now. So if we're gonna go based on, you know, who's on top for that specific year, then Julian Alfred is a sprint queen, if that's how y'all want to look at it. But I don't think you can use one championship to determine if an athlete is a sprint queen or not. You have to use multiple events. If that person is able to come back year after year and perform consistently, winning gold, setting records, and all that, that's how you determine who's king or who's queen. Nobody's see, you just came on and you didn't listen to, you weren't on the live stream this whole time. So clearly you didn't see when the first thing I did was congratulate Tia Clayton and Alfred for their performance. That's the first thing I did, right? Because as young as she is, being in the finals, that's a big accomplishment for her, right? I did say congrats to Alfred for winning. I think she represented her country well and represented the Caribbean well. That's the first thing I did. Nobody's bashing Tia. That would be wrong if they even try to do that. Because for, you know, her first time going to making the Olympics team is an accomplishment. So making the team and making the finals is even a bigger accomplishment for her age. So, you know, I don't get what you're saying. You know what? I'm not going to feed into your, you know, thought you had positive stuff to say, but clearly not. You're trying to deflect and divert. You don't want to face the fact that Sha'carri lost. And all y'all need to face the fact that she did lose. Y'all thought she was going to win, but she lost. And I said she was going to lose and somebody else is going to win. And that's exactly what happened. So, suck it up. That's what it is. I like that comment. The thing is, yes, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but at the end of the day, there are some stuff that are just factual, and facts can't be changed. So we could share our opinions all day, but what is factual is that sha'carri just won one championship. What is factual is that Shelly-Ann Fraser have multiple championship wins. Multiple. She has multiple medals in the 1, 2, and 4x1. Multiple. You can't, nobody could change that. That's gonna go down in the history books. So when you, if Shelly-Ann was supposed to lay out our medals, right, and sha'carri is supposed to lay out our medals, and we're not talking about NCAA championship medals. We're talking about medals at the Olympics or World Championship. If they both are supposed to lay their medals out, who's gonna have more? So with that being said, who is the sprint queen? She lost. She lost. Winning is coming first. Winning is finishing in first. She's the runner-up. Runner-up. If you want to look at it in the grand scheme of things, for saying, oh, she didn't lose, you know, nobody in the finals lost because they're the top 8 or top 9 athletes in the world. So if that's how you want to look at it, to say she didn't lose, then okay. But in the eye of the sport, she did lose. She's not she won't be standing on the slot, the number 1 slot on the podium when they're giving out medals. The last time I checked. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. It's not about needing anybody validation, by the way. I like how you say the first part of your comment is good. For what? But the second part, the thing about it is, they're not saying that she's the American queen, American sprint queen. That's not what they're saying. If they had said that, then it would have been okay. They said that she is the sprint queen, not the American sprint queen. You've never even heard anybody say, you know, this person from Trinidad is, you know, the Trinidadian spring queen, or from Jamaica is Jamaican spring queen, or you've never really heard anybody. It's no self-proclaimed anything. I don't think at the present moment, sha'carri is nowhere close to Shelly-Ann Fraser Price achievements. Nowhere close. People could talk all they want, but it's just gonna be talk. What is in black and white is what is in black and white. And as I said, they can't change anything. All this talk about somebody else being queen, that doesn't change anything. See, what I realize is, like, a lot of people can't be objective. Michael Johnson put out a post, and that's some real stuff that he put out. I respect what he said. He said Bolt is the fastest man, fastest ever. Right? Lyles is world championship. He says Bolt is the fastest ever, period. Lyles is world champion, period. Kishane has the fastest time, period. Right? Jacobs is Olympic champion, period. Everything else that is not facts is opinion. They just, the reason why, and again, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I'm going to give my opinion here. I think the reason why they didn't go to the conference is because they lost. They were expecting to get 1-2, but that didn't happen. That did not happen. How can somebody lose and think they win? Like that is the craziest thing I've heard. They shouldn't even think that. It's not how they choose to glorify anything. They're delusional. That's what it is. They're delusional, and they think that if they can spin it like that, it's gonna create more attention. Again, it's about the attention. It is about the attention. Because the more attention that the media could put on the athletes, the more money they'll make. So I guess you should just admit that they do that to bring more eyes to the sport, hence more money. Because that's the fact. Because they have, what other factual reason is there for them to do things the way how they do it? I've never seen anybody glorify people who lost. Again, you're saying, you're pretty much verifying what I'm saying. They know how to market their athletes. It's about making more money. We're not talking about making more money here. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about athletic performance, not making more money. The financial aspect of track and field is something else. And it shouldn't even be based on media spotlight. It should be based on performance. It should not be based on who's in the spotlight more. It should be based on athletic performance. The person who performs the best, they should get paid the best. And the spotlight should be on them, the person who wins. And clearly what they use, the last time I checked, what they use to determine who's the best is who win a world championship medal or an Olympic medal. There's no other measure to determine whether this person is the best or that person is the best. Because it's even controversial for somebody who has the world record but have not won any championship. Because you have people who have ran multiple world records, right? And again, I'm not biased, so I'm not scared to say we have a Jamaican that has ran 2 or 3 world records, Asafa Powell, but he does not have a championship win. He does not have an Olympic gold or a world championship gold. And do you hear anybody crowning him as Sprint King? No. Nobody crowned him Spring King. You, not going to the conference does not show good sportsmanship. Man, get out of here with that foolishness. Get out of here with that foolishness. Because you're gonna say because everybody's saying she lost, that's not good sportsmanship. But she not going to the conference is good sportsmanship. Not being able to face the fact that you lost is good sportsmanship. So you don't show up. Or you think you're better than sitting with the person who actually won. Man, you're delusional. Asafa is sub 10 king. Okay. You're clearly not reading what you're typing. I don't think you are. He's sub 10 king. But do you ever hear anybody say he's the GOAT? And I'm assuming that you know what GOAT means. Do you ever hear anybody saying that? And I mean, I don't think we need to question who is the GOAT when it comes to the males. I mean, we know Asafa is not the GOAT, but I'm saying I don't think anybody can question who is the GOAT of men sprinting. Nobody can be compared to him. So you come on my live stream and you're being super sensitive with words that I'm using. But you can't deal with the fact that I stated that somebody that finished second did not win. So I'll do you one better, right? Go get a dictionary and look up what winning is. I guess you're just here for the attention too. So with that being said, I'm gonna stop giving it to you. British R, he he is not the GOAT. I know you're saying that Asafa isn't. Bold stands alone. I agree. A lot of times we we think we know a lot of these athletes when we really don't. And when I say that, I'm speaking to this comment, right? But all right, let's move on. All right, so I think that they need to change. They need to make some changes to how. See, I'm gonna click on the comment. I can't speak to that because I have no knowledge on that. I mean, if you know something, you could type it, but I don't know, so I'm not gonna speak directly on something that I don't know anything about. This I agree with. A lot of people out here, they really don't know anything about track and field. They just follow the hype. If if they think that this person, everybody's talking about this person, okay, I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon and I'm gonna support this person. They did no groundwork, no homework. They know nothing about that athlete. They just know that everybody's supporting that athlete, right? That's all they know. But see, it America and Jamaica is two different countries. In America, track and field is, I don't know, I don't even know if it's considered in the top 10 sport. I don't think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. Right? But I know it's not number 1. Neither is it number 2. Right? But I can tell you this. Track and field is the number 1 sport in Jamaica. And even the great, and listen to my words, even the great Michael Johnson admits that. One of the greatest American athlete ever, Michael Johnson. Yeah, he admitted. He admit that Jamaica has been dominating female sprinting for years. He called the names. He said since the days of Donald Quarry, Grace Jackson, Merlin Ottey, Juliet Cockburt, you have Dion Hemmings, you have so many athletes leading up to Fraser Price and Elaine, and you have Sharon Simpson. How are we gonna forget? I don't even know why her name is not clicking in my head right now, but she was the one. She beat Veronica Campbell Brown. How are we gonna forget Veronica? Another athlete that you guys crown was Allison Felix, who was beaten multiple times by Veronica Campbell. I don't know. Oh, you guys are funny in the comments. You guys are funny. Yeah. I mean, yeah. See? Caron Stewart, VCB. Now we're talking about people who, even if um even if the person that posted this comment, even if that individual did not run track a day in their life, the fact that they know these names tell you that they know about track and field. Because these athletes are the foundation of Jamaican track and field. Melanie Walker, Bridget Foster Hilton. Like, come on now. Y'all jump in the comments, being all sensitive, trying to change definitions. Oh, winning is one, two, three. The last time I checked, winning is just number one. Runner up is silver. And even if I think that only winning is only number one is winning, that's I'm entitled to my opinion. You're entitled to yours. I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm just telling you what I think. You don't have to agree with it. Oh, winning is all of a sudden winning is relative. Whatever though. I mean, it is celebrated, but it's not winning. Silver and bronze is something, but it's not winning. Here you go trying to tell me who to focus on and what to focus on. You say this is a really good comment. Ignorance is no excuse when you have Google and YouTube. You couldn't have said it better. You couldn't have said it any better. Go to the internet, do your research. She was the boss on the track. She was. It took great athletes to dethrone her. You couldn't just bring any average athlete. It wouldn't work. Anyways, um, let me move to. So I'm gonna move to the next topic because I have one more after this that I think I'm gonna talk about a little bit longer than this one. I really think they need to change the time between the final and the semifinal for the 100 meter. I think it's again, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I think it's crazy that they only leave an hour 20 minutes in between the semifinal and the final. Right? I think it's crazy because most athlete takes an hour to warm up, maybe 30 to 45 minutes to cool down, right? So within that 1 hour 20 minutes, you don't even have enough time to cool down the muscles and warm back up again, right? And I think that in itself is going to create problems. Like it'll potentially cause injuries. Because if you don't have a really good team, a masseuse, somebody that's working with you to help flush that lactic acid out your muscles after you run the semifinal, you know, who knows what your performance is going to be in the finals. And that is across the board. I'm not talking about just for Jamaica. I'm talking about the whole field. The American athletes, the Caribbean athletes, the European athletes, all of them. It should be equal where they have more time. I think an hour 20 minutes is not enough. No, it's the last time I checked, it wasn't that short. It wasn't that short. It was more like 3 hours. And if you guys, if one of you guys could find the time period between these, the semifinal and the final, when Bolt was running and posted in here, I'll be happy to change my view. But as we speak, I think they need to change it. They need to at least push it to 3 hours, because that three hours would allow the athletes to cool down, rehydrate. You say it's never been. No, I'm not saying it's 4 hours. I'm saying it was 3 hours. 3 hours between. That's what I'm saying. Right? The 3 hours will allow the athletes to cool down, rehydrate, right? You know, flush their muscles and all that, you know, maybe a massage or whatever the case is, and still have, you know, the time to warm up properly for the finals. But with an hour 20 minutes, they can't do that. They really can't. The finals ran an hour 20 minutes after. So I'm even going to say it's less than an hour 20 minutes, because the first semifinal heat went off at 1:50. So if the first semifinal heat went off at 1:50 and then the finals is 3:20, I mean, I'm sure they didn't run all three races within 10 minutes to give them an hour 20 minutes, which would mean they would have, everybody would have finished running at 2 o'clock. That did not happen, right? Because people gotta reset the timing system. They gotta do all of that. The athletes gotta come out. They gotta change. It's not like they already changed, you know, even though they're in the what we call it again. We call it the marshalling area. That's what we call it. But whatever they call it, that little room that they sit in and change, put their spikes on, all that, it's not like they're already there, like just completely changed and waiting, you know, because I don't think they have all three semifinal heat in that area at the same time. If they do, then, you know, that means I'm wrong. But I don't think they do, because I didn't see both semifinal heat or all three semifinal heat in that area, you know, at the same time. Nah, I think it's more like 3 hour, not an hour 30 or 2. I think it's more like 3. Because when you think about it, the person who runs in the third semifinal heat, depending on how far apart they space the semifinal heat, if they put them 10 minutes apart or whatever, that person that runs in the first semifinal heat is getting more rest than the person that runs in the third semifinal heat. I mean, granted, they all can't run at once, so somebody's gonna get a little bit more rest than the other person, right? Which technically I shouldn't even have said anything about, because, you know, that is gonna happen. If I'm being realistic, that's gonna happen. I don't think they could do much about that. The only thing that they could do is try to shorten the time in between each semifinal heat. They run this in the Jamaican trials. The semifinal and the finals is ran on the same day, but it's not an hour 20 minutes apart. I could tell you that much. I'm telling you, it's more like 3 hours. They pattern everything off of like the Olympics, which I'm not talking about this Olympics. I'm talking about previous Olympics, not this one, because this Olympics, things don't seem to be running right to me. Again, that's my opinion. It don't seem to be running right. You can't be locking locking the gate on the athletes when they want to come in and warm up. You know they're athletes. You got to designate a specific area for them to enter the warm up track. You can let them in here one day and then tomorrow you tell them they can't come in. They got to go to another entrance that is, 800 to 1600 meters, away from where they at. Like sending them to walk half a mile, before they warm up. Like, come on now. I think it was a sabotage too. I don't disagree with you. I think they deliberately well, that's my opinion. I think they did that. I think they did that. Because I don't think they don't know who she is. For you not to know who Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is, and you're working at a track and field event, you must have been living under a rock. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna look it up for sure, because later on they're doing the same thing. The time for the 100 and the semifinal for the men is pretty much, it's gonna be the same as the females. So with that being said, I am going to look it up. Hold on. Okay, so put it over there. All right, so now I'm looking at the 100 meter men's semifinals, right? The first semifinal heat goes off at 2:05, right? Second one, 2:14. Third one, 2:23. Now the final go off at 3:50. So look at the time again. The last semifinal heat goes off at 2:23. And put it that they're on time today. Then that would be what? 37 minutes plus 50 minutes. That is still an hour, 27 minutes. But see, yeah, everybody needs to think for themselves. But at the end of the day, your thoughts are not factual in every case. Facts are stuff that can be proven. So you just saying think for yourself. You are thinking for yourself right now, but you thinking for yourself, that's your opinion. Did I hold on. Did I get to finish talking about that? They held them both back at the gate. Right? However, during warm-up, one person suffered an injury, right? The other person didn't. Do we know why Shelly-Ann Fraser suffered the injury? And sha'carri didn't? What was the talk after Shelly-Ann pulled out? The talk was she was scared of sha'carri, right? I don't even want to feed into that. Yes, I did see the video. Thank you. Thank you. Let me post that. Let me post that. Let me post that right now. No, not that one. This one. Oh, where did it go? Y'all typing so fast I can't even keep up. One is younger and one is older. That's facts. So what sha'carri can do, Shelly Ann is not gonna take the chance and do the same thing. If I'm Shelly Ann's age and you only allot me 30 minutes to warm up, it's I'm to be honest with you, I wouldn't even want to run because I know that I'm not gonna be ready in 30 minutes. sha'carri probably able to do a whole bunch of strides and dynamic drills, you know, and get her body warm enough where the elasticity of her muscles are good enough for her to compete and not get injured. But see, a lot of you guys that are commenting, Mr. On the Beach, maybe you don't even understand those stuff. Because you have to get your muscles to a certain point where when you're being explosive, when you're stretching, you know, relaxing and contracting those muscles at a fast pace, you don't get hurt. But if you don't get those muscles warmed up to that point, who knows what's going to happen? And why would you, as an older individual, want to take that chance? The likeliness of the older person getting injured over the younger person is way greater. Who's making excuses for the US? Cosmic, I'm definitely gonna be on here later, so as always, you're welcome. You're welcome to join. You know, welcome to join. But I'm not making excuses for us. That is not an excuse. That is factual. That's not an excuse. And this is the reason why I say that's not an excuse, right? That leads me to my next topic, right? And it's gonna seem controversial to a lot of people, but you know, as I said, I'm not picking one side over the other. Something don't seem right with the Jamaican team this time around. You know, you gotta call a spade a spade. It's you know, as I said, you gotta call a spade a spade. Something doesn't seem right with the Jamaican team, and the reason why I say that is because, okay, going into the Olympics, Sherika Jackson got injured, right? We saw her pulled up at the Diamond League meet. Everybody said that she was good after that. You say how is it the rule only affected Shelly? The memo was sent out, well, sent to management team prior to? What memo? But anyways, Sharika Jackson was hurt prior to the Olympics. They said she was okay, but then she pulled out of the 100, right? Then now she was supposed to run the 200 this morning. She pulled out of that too. Which, in my opinion, it's like, if you know that you're not well enough to run the event, why keep making it seem as if you're able to run? I think this is something that they knew, but they didn't say anything. Maybe they were being hopeful, maybe, and that's just an opinion thing, maybe. But I think they should have just flat out say, you know, she won't be able to compete, instead of stringing everybody along, because that spot, could have gone to somebody else from the jump, right? And again, as I said, me personally, I don't choose sides. I was, I'm a born Jamaican, so yes, I'm gonna root for Jamaica. But at the end of the day, as I said, you call a spade a spade. If they know she can't run, put it out there. Like, there's nothing. What's wrong with the fact that you got hurt? Like, you didn't do it deliberately. It's not like you can run and then you're like, oh, I'm not gonna run. That's not what you did. You got hurt. I think people are gonna be disappointed. Yeah, but at the end of the day, they're gonna understand, because you didn't just choose not to compete. And this is the. I know I'm kind of talking about something else right now, but I'm gonna post this. This is true. This lady has showed up every single time, regardless of what the circumstances are. So for people to be saying, she was scared and all that, nah, she wasn't scared. She wasn't. Hey, as I said, I think they knew she wasn't gonna be able to run. They should have just said it. Let somebody else, you know, get that spot, and just keep it pushing. Just keep it pushing. I mean, we knew she was hurt earlier on in the season. It is what it is. It is what it is. There's nothing anybody, me or anybody else, could do about it. It's just what it is. Yes. This that is also that is also what I heard. That she got a hamstring injury just before the um the semifinal. I agree. It was better for them to just come out and say, she's not going to be able to run, because then everybody kept being hopeful that, she's going to show up in the 200 and try to win, when, you know, because tell you what, she can be fit, but she's not healthy. Being healthy and being fit is two different things. I don't know. They could have definitely said something, because that would kind of, I'm gonna say, lighten the blow of her not competing if they had put it out there from the get go. But giving everybody hope that she's gonna be ready and she's gonna compete in the 200, and then on the day she just don't show, then I think that's something else. But I mean, what can we do about it at this point? We just gotta pretty much be supportive of you know who we currently have competing on the female side, which is Clayton, because Clayton made it to the semifinal in the 400-meter hurdles. So we could definitely look forward to that to see what she's gonna do. We got a medal in the triple jump from Ricketts, so that's a good thing. That's the reason why she didn't enter with the other athletes. You don't see that being the root cause. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, Mr. Strong, Mr. Strong. So you say you did some research. The 3 hour window went away with the quarterfinal round 2008 Olympics being the last time for both. So I was right. They did have that 3 hour window, right? And after that, they changed it to what you're saying, 90 minutes to 2 hours. To me, it seemed as if it was more 2 hours than 90 minutes. It seemed as if they had more time, even in '09 when Bolt set the record. So, again, I've said this many times, and I think a lot of people that come on here, they think I just woke up yesterday and started talking about track and field. But, I've been in the sport for, I don't know, maybe like 20 years or more, right? I've been around track and field ever since I was maybe like 5, right? So I've watched almost all the Olympic Games, all the way from 2000 all the way up. You know, when distance running was like really popping with people that you guys don't even know about, El Garouche, Bernard Lagat, like all these names may seem foreign to you guys. I was watching since Otto Bolden was running, which he's a piece of work. He's something else. I don't even want to you know talk about him, but I'm just saying, like, I've been around the sport, been a part of the sport as well for quite a long time. So when you hear me say something, if it's not what it is, it's very close, right? I mean, I'm just gonna leave that part alone. I'm not gonna say she didn't run because she can't bother. Because who trains all year? That I don't. I disagree with that. Who trains all year to go to the Olympics and then go there and say, "Oh, me can't bother"? No, I don't think anybody. No, nope. I know they took away around Mr. Strong. They because it was 4 round, and I think me and a friend had a discussion about this yesterday. It was they had a quarterfinal, semifinal, which kind of like they didn't take away a round because they still have the preliminary round now, but some athletes aren't required to run the preliminary rounds here. But it's kind of the same 4 rounds with the first round here. That would have been the quarterfinal, right? And then the okay. So you've been watching since since the 80s. Hey, loyal fan of the sport. So can't take that away from you. And I appreciate you being here, you know, sharing your knowledge of what you've watched over the years. So again, if you hear me say something and you're unsure, you could let me know. I don't mind doing a little extra research. Yeah. Yeah, you're correct. You're correct. Yeah, but I think they could have done a better job um with the ladies not announcing that they were hurt. I don't think they went about it the right way. And again, that's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. I think they should have definitely let people know that Sharika wasn't gonna run. They kept everybody's hopes high. You know, I guess they were hoping that she would be ready, but I mean that's another thing. Yeah, that's a completely different case. But I mean, later on today, we definitely gonna have. It's gonna be a fun evening. I could say that much. Definitely could say that much. Because I think we're gonna have the 400 meter first round later on today, and we should have a couple more events. I don't know. Typically, I had it pulled up here, but I didn't even get up in time, wake up in time to watch all the races. If I'm being honest, you you said if you wasn't so sleepy, you would have had the energy to be upset. I mean, hey, what I realize these days, like I see a lot of people getting super emotional when it comes to these races, but you know we we're allowed to share our opinions, but at the end of the day, we still got to think about it like it's a sport. Yeah, I think Jamaicans take it a lot more serious, and they're very prideful about track and field because, as I said, it's the number one sport in Jamaica. So they're you know they're gonna be like that. They don't want to lose. They don't really like. Not I'm not saying they don't like second place and third place, but they would prefer, first place. And to clarify a few comments earlier, they do celebrate silver and bronze. They do, but they definitely prefer gold medals. So it is what it is. DG say, I can't believe they put Lyles in the easiest semifinal after his performance compared to Thompson and Blake Heath. Hey, I'm gonna say you should have expected that. Hey, TA is young. TA is young. So I think she did well for her first time around. So I have nothing bad to say or negative to say about Tia. I wanted her on the podium, but she didn't. She didn't make it. So, it is what it is. This is gonna boost her confidence going into the next Olympics and even into World Championship. She's definitely gonna be, a contender in the future. So, this is just, you know, a good experience for her. Yeah, she's young, and with that, it's definitely her sister. This is gonna put this. It's not fire that is gonna light under her sister tail. Shoot, this is gonna be like a volcano. So that ain't gonna be no normal heat. Cause with the younger sister doing so well, the older sister is definitely gonna step her game up. So, you know, we might see some real crazy stuff in the future. So that's something that we could definitely look forward to. And knowing that she's that young and she's performing the way she's performing, you know, that shows that the future of Jamaican female sprinting is still strong, because we still have young athletes that are able to compete at that level, that high level, and potentially dominate. So I think we'll be fine. But I think they should have definitely addressed that situation with Sharika not running. You know, at this point, I don't know if anything is gonna surprise me. Um, I don't think anything will, but I'm looking forward to that men 100-meter semifinal and final. I will be right here in this chair, okay? Because I'm not gonna miss it. I'm really not, because I'm home today. And we'll definitely talk about the other races when I go live in a few hours. So, I'm not gonna hold you guys here too long. I appreciate everybody that, tuned in as always. And if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. Okay? If you like what I'm doing, leave a thumbs up. Also, if you don't, that's okay too. But just go hit the subscribe button, because you definitely like being here. So just hit the subscribe button, because I'll be back later. You'll definitely get a notification when I post the live stream, because I always schedule it. So just hit the subscribe button and leave a thumbs up. You commented a whole bunch, so just go ahead. And tell you what, just for you, A moment of silence. I was not upset. Well, I can't say I wasn't upset, but I wasn't pleased with how they presented or how they announced her. Yeah, athletes do get injury. But I'm gonna wrap it up here. As I said, I'll be back um more than likely maybe 10 or 15 minutes before the start of the evening session. I'm not gonna just wait until the 100-meter semifinal. Um, I'm definitely gonna go live before that. So you guys are welcome to to join me because for the evening we have. Let me tell you what we have before y'all go. We have the men 400-meter first round. Then we have the semifinal, right, of the semifinal of the men 100, and then we have the 800-meter semifinal women, 1500-meter semifinal men, and then we have the finals of the 100-meter. So, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here from the the first round of the 400, which is at 105. So more than likely, a couple minutes before that, you know, I'll go live so you guys have an idea when I'll be here. But as always, I'll post the link. You could just wait for the notification, or you could just check the channel page, and it will be there. Um, You're funny. You're a funny guy. Well said. Well said. Well said. This is true. That's a that's a that's a really good outlook on it. That's a good outlook. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. But I'll definitely catch you guys later. I enjoyed this live stream, conversating with you guys, even though a lot of y'all could just share y'all opinion much easier if you just click on the link that I put in the comments and join the live stream and share your opinions verbally instead of typing them. I think that's a lot easier, but it is what it is. I still don't mind if y'all type y'all comments. So, all right, I'm gonna close it off here, and it's your boy Rayon with East Coast Athletics, and I'm gonna be signing out. Peace.